No.
Okay, we're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vibe Time with Geri. Hope everybody's having a good day with my co-host, David Flowers.
Hey, y'all.
As we all know, it's Metaphysical Hour. But I have to do a couple shout outs before I do Metaphysical Hour. First, let me fix my internet stuff, my privacy set. Everybody can see it. Then there's just certain little things I have to do, unfortunately, on this podcast before I can actually get it rolling pretty good. Well, I saw my Vibe Time with Geri on my own Facebook page, and now for some reason I don't see it. So I don't know what happened to it. Flowers,
Yeah,
I don't know where it is.
I see it on my page.
All right, and then I got to turn around and let me do a refresh. I'm reloading.
I don't know why she always does this.
Dave joined. I have to go through this every week. At least it saved my name this time. So that's one good thing. I have to do a shout out to Maggie Fields for making my cute little barrettes, y'all. She makes the cutest little barrettes. She handmade those little charms in them. So I have to say thank you, Maggie, because it holds my bangs back. People know that I cannot stand hair in my face. Because it gets on my nerves. I'm OCD with that. And I don't see Vibe Time on my personal Facebook page at all.
We'll go to Vibe Time with Geri and share it to your first personal Facebook page.
We'll just go to your page and share it because I don't have time to get on Vibe Time with Geri and do it. One of the first things we're going to be talking about tonight is planet lineup. That is one of the things we are going to talk about as soon as I can get this thing to, as I can get this to load to my page, because
I just shared it to your page. Now shut up and start talking.
Oh, I forgot to write my note of the day. Did y'all know that Facebook has a note of the day above your own profile? You can put a note in there for the day. Like if you want to put a middle finger there, you can actually put it there. And, it's like, what are you thinking? And you can actually put the middle finger thing up there. It works like a charm. Look, I just did it. Well, you can't see it, but it's definitely, if you go to my profile, you can see my middle finger up there.
What does that have to do with the metaphysical?
It does not, but I just wanted people to be aware, and I'm still making sure that my stuff, thank you, is your stuff on your Facebook is not public, is it? Or do you just have it set to friends?
Yeah, mine's always public.
Because I'm seeing just friends though on yours. Just triple check it. Unless that's just indicating that I'm a friend.
Yeah, mine's public.
Okay, good. Well, I don't know what's up with my Vibe Time stuff. It doesn't work right.
I'm not stuck up like you. I always keep my stuff public.
That's what I think about you and stuck up dish. All right, so planet lineup. We all know that the planets are aligning, and they are aligning from... Oh, and let me just explain this before I get really in-depth into stuff, y'all. Okay. I have AD triple HD. We all know that. I'm not good at memorization. I don't talk out the side of my neck. That kind of stuff when it comes to this. I do write stuff off the top of my head, but I am a notes person. So I will be reading off of a lot of notes that I have taken. So just bear with me here. I have to put that out there, and I have no shame in my game. So anyway, planet alignment. It is from January 25th is when it started. January 26th, I believe, was the peak of it when it was high energy at that point. And it ends February 21st. So the best time to observe planet lineup is right at sunset, at the dusk, and as the sun rises. That's when you can actually see the planet lineup with the naked eye. And of course, if you want to see more detailed planets and stuff like that, then you would have to break out a telescope. So just keep that in mind. The planets that are aligning from the 25th through the 21st are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and of course the moon. So if you haven't had a chance to look at planet lineup, you want to do that because it's a rare occasion. So I have to start off with that.
Okay, I read somewhere it says the next one's gonna be like 2492.
Yeah, it's a long way away. Yeah, so that's what it's a very rare thing. So yeah, you want to make sure that you get out there and be able to observe it. Now, where does that fall in lines of spirituality and things like that? You want to leverage the planet alignment and consider using this event for powerful times for your opportunity to be able to manifest, focus in on your personal growth, and aligning your desires with the universe's around y'all. Sorry, some spam person is calling me and just threw my whole 80 triple HD off. You want to be able to take that because it's high energy, and you want to be able to manifest that your energy with, of course, the energy of the universe. You want to be able to do both.
Hi,
so
Tina.
That's what you want to be able to do. Tina, hello. So that's what you want to be able to do. It's manifestation time. Now, as the planets align, you want to create your own personal growth and awakening. So you want to use the time to be quiet and ask yourself, you want to be able to ask for clarity. If you got certain goals that you're trying to do, or certain, just certain goals, let's say, for example, that you're trying to do, you want to be able to manifest that and ask for clarity. So you want to be able to be quiet and ask for insight about some of those goals that you set. So you also want to take the time out from those times to reflect on certain things. And, only what those things are as far as reflection in your life. The different planets that are going to be out, they have different meanings to them. So when you're wanting to do like manifestations and things like that, you want to take that planet and kind of picture it in your head. So this is like, you have to use a lot of imagination with what you're doing. Let's say Mercury, for instance. Mercury is a planet. It invites clarity and insight, strength. That's what that purpose is for that particular planet when it comes to the spiritual realm. Mars invites the surge of energy and helps you with goals and desires. So if you have certain goals and desires that you want to meet that you're not meeting, you want to turn to Mars to help you do that. Jupiter helps with wisdom and expansion, and it opens the door to spiritual growth, belief, growth, and abundance. Saturn encourages one to ground, but it also encourages a person to be patient. So, you can have all your goals, but you also want to be patient because sometimes things don't come to you right when you want them to. And unfortunately, a lot of us expect stuff like that, and that's not how the universe works. Saturn encourages you to ground again, but also encourages you to be patient. I don't know why these people keep calling me, because they just suck. They call me every night. The moon helps with emotions and self-awareness. And so when you're looking at the moon or you're thinking about the moon, that's a time for emotional healing. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, like I said, are all visible with the naked eye, but you want to make sure that you see it at dusk, dusk and sun up when the sun comes up. So there are certain things that you can do when you're doing manifestation and you're dealing with the planet lineup. So I'm going to go over a few things, and this is where I have to break out spectacles because the writing is so small. Oh, I hate the glare. Okay, so here's a breakdown of what you can do. Set intentions and visualization. Use the planetary alignment as a focal point for clarifying your goals and desires. You want to take the time out to reflect on what you want to manifest in your life, whether it's related to personal growth, relationships, careers, creative endeavors. Write down your intentions, visualize them as you've already achieved them, and then feel the emotions that are associated with that achievement. Do you understand that? Because a lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Manifestation, you're writing down what you clearly want. You know, it might be a goal, something that you want to accomplish. And then you got to kind of act like you've already accomplished it. And you manifest on that feeling that you get once you've accomplished it. Imaginary accomplished it. In other words, fake it until you make it, pretty much. Act like you already have it, but you really don't. But you act like you already have it, and that's manifestation.
How do you act like you already won the lottery?
Everybody wants to win the lottery. Isn't there anything else that you want to do?
Say what?
I said, isn't there anything else that you want to do?
Retire.
Okay, well, just picture that retirement.
I have to hit the lottery to retire.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. Engage in rituals and practices. You want to create a ritual or practice that resonates with you to amplify your intentions. This could be meditation. It can be journaling, affirmations. People, I used to, and I don't do it anymore, but I used to create vision boards. So I would take a poster board once a year, and I would just envision my goals and stuff that I wanted for that year, and I would find magazines or pictures that coincided with what I was doing, and I would put them on this vision board. And that's all I'd do is I'd put the pictures there. And it just kind of puts your goals into perspective. Vision boards, they're really cool. So you want to do a vision board if you can. Consider incorporating elements that symbolize the planets to align itself, like candles, crystals, and essential oils, because we all know that candles, crystals, and essential oils, those colors, some of those crystals resonate with each planet as well. So you want to do that. Align with the planetary energies. Each planet holds specific energies that can be harnessed for manifestation. Again, for an example, Jupiter is associated with expansion and abundance. Saturn represents discipline and structure, and you can research which planets are prominent during the alignment and tailor the intentions to what you want to tailor things to. Connect with nature. Spend time outdoors under the sky, observing the planets and feeling a sense of connection to the universe. Now, make sure you bundle up because it's very cold outside. That's the only reason why I'm not going out there right now and just looking up. I'll look up when I get out the car, because we don't have the same light. Light interference like y'all do in the city. So you can just kind of look straight up and see everything that's more clear. But this can help you feel more grounded and aligned with the cosmic energies that are at play. Engage in collective manifestation. Consider enjoying, joining a group or community that are doing the rituals for planet alignment. And sharing your intentions with others can help, increase those energies, because you're sharing those intentions with other people and they have the same intentions as you do, so it kind of increases the energy some. You also want to use time to reflect. Use the planetary alignment as a time to reflect on your current path and assess your goals. So some of y'all, everybody makes goals at the beginning of the year, right? So a lot of people do. make goals at the beginning of the year. So just assess them and make sure they align with what you're really wanting to do. And embrace the flow. You want to embrace the flow of the energy. The planetary alignment is a reminder that the universe is it's in constant motion and change is inevitable. Embrace the flow of life and the trust that the universe is supporting your journey towards your desires and your outcomes. In essence, the planetary alignment offers a powerful opportunity to connect with the universe energy and apply your manifestation efforts. By setting clear intentions in rituals and align with the cosmic energies, you can create a powerful foundation for manifestation and make your dreams a reality.
If you say so.
So those are some of the things that you can do right now with planet alignment.
Didn't know that.
Well, I just figured I'd put it out there because people have until February. So, you got until February 21st to do things. And I mean, even though February is right around the corner.
Yeah, still got 3 weeks of February, though.
Huh?
Still got 3 weeks of February.
3 weeks till February?
Yeah.
Oh, till February 21st, yeah. So, those are just a few things that you can do while it's planet lineup. And, I'm still curious to see what it's going to do with the paranormal.
Yeah.
How is that energy going to, is it going to increase it? Is it going to bring different spirits, to the manor house? I mean, is it going to be the same? Because you're talking about February, it's still cold.
Yeah. Well, you know my thoughts on this numerology and planetology and that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm completely in agreement with you as far as the paranormal goes. Because I know the planets aligning and stuff that happens out in the atmosphere that changes the energy down here. And we all know that the paranormal feeds off energy.
Right.
So that's one thing I am interested in seeing. I'm interested in learning about this other stuff just so I can talk halfway intelligent about it. But as far as believing in this stuff, not right now.
Oh, you'll be all right. It's not about you.
That's right. It's not about me. It's all about you.
No, you're supposed to just sit there and look pretty and ask questions.
Okay.
Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of numerology. Numerology has been around for centuries. It was first documented in the early 1900s by a Greek mathematician, Pythagoras. He began to study the theory of numbers, music, and frequencies because they all have a connection. And hopefully I pronounced that name right. If I didn't, y'all will get the gist of it. It'll be fine. When we talk about numerology, we're talking about codes and messages that are especially for you. The universe can't verbally talk to you because it runs off of frequency, so it has to find different ways to communicate with you. And numbers is one of those ways that it does it. So numbers is something that's very important because it helps people with their life codes, if you will, which I know that I'll have to do a whole separate show on your life path numbers and how to find out what those are and different things like that. So, numerology, like I said, people call it numerology, angel numbers, whatever. They've been around forever. Angel numbers have been around for centuries. We've always wanted to know why we're here. You know, some people question, I don't know if you do, but I have, what's my purpose here? I want to know. So we all have a main purpose in life. Angel numbers are high frequency messages that can help you answer your own questions. The why, you know, why am I here? What is my purpose here? Because they are, the reason why they use numbers for that is because they're universal and they're everywhere. You see numbers everywhere you go, right? I mean, everywhere you look, you see numbers. So those, they're also a part of your DNA when you think about it. Because your birthday, when you're born, different things like that relate to you. Number patterns are all over the place and they are perfect for sending you messages. Have you ever found yourself sometimes waking up in the morning time and at the same time without an alarm? You just automatically get up. Or have you ever seen your birthday number? You know, you might get up at the same time every day at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, what does 7 mean? What does 700 mean in angel terms? What is 5:30? I mean, it's something that you have to get up to. But what does the actual 5:30 number mean? What does it mean in terms of your codes? You know, my code, for instance, the numbers that I see constantly every day is 1111. So I know that is my special angel number when you repetitiously see it. And I see it every day, 111. Every time I look down, it's either 111 or 1111. So, and that's ingrained. Well, and then when I look down, I see it there too, because that's on one of my tattoos. But anyway, let's see. Their patterns and their special messages. License plate numbers. Certain license plate numbers might stand out to a person, a street number, everything. It's your angels trying to send you messages. You have angels. Everybody has an angel assigned to them too. It's not, you know, people think they don't, but everybody has an angel that is assigned to them. My angels, I'm sure, get tired of me.
Question.
Yep.
Okay. You're talking numerology and you're talking angels. And when I think of angels, I think of God. How does numerology translate into the Bible?
I have no clue.
At least you're honest about it.
Well, I don't. I honestly, I'm sure that there's all, you know, kinds of things incorporated in, because I know that Tim mentioned doing a show, a biblical numerology show, but I was going back and forth whether I wanted to do a biblical numerology show.
I think it might be a good idea.
I guess, but it puts it in the form of religion, and I'm not about that.
Well, I understand that, but you know as well as I do, there's people out there that think what we do as far as the paranormal and what you do as far as the metaphysical stuff, we're talking to the devil.
Right.
Where if you could bring Tim on and he can talk about the biblical aspect of what we're doing, I think that might be a good thing.
But I don't know if he could talk in the terms of the biblical aspect of paranormal.
Well, you got to start somewhere, whether it's numerology or paranormal.
I don't know. I got to think about that one, because I never want to put religion in my show. I'm more free-spirited. But anyway, back to angel numbers. Back to angel numbers. You have angels throughout your life. They guide and protect you. throughout your whole life. Your higher self is considered your soul's conscience, and we all have a conscience, right? I hope. Some people don't, I guess. Your angel guides, everybody has certain guides that have been assigned to them, and they're assigned to you the same angel throughout your whole life. So it's natural that they would send you codes, numbers, to remind you. Sometimes they might send you certain numbers and codes to remind you to stay on track with your goals if you get off of stuff. Or it's trying to keep you on track with your soul's contract, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people believe that you already know what you were placed down here for, and everything that happens to you was a part of a contract that you signed before you came down here.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. So, but some people do. They believe that they they signed that contract, and I'm kind of back and forth with that one myself. So, but your angels, like I said, they're assigned to you throughout your life. When you're going through something personal, your angels might ramp up the numbers. If there's something tragic you're going to, you might see more frequent numbers. Once you start paying attention to them, of course, you might see more frequent numbers. Sometimes when you're not on track with things like your goals, your angels will send you reminders, codes. They may send them for you to reevaluate a situation. You might be in a situation and maybe they don't think that's the best situation, and they send you numbers to reevaluate it. That's the purpose for looking them up. They want you to know that they are present and want you to feel supported throughout your journey. Angels aren't the only ones who can send you numbers. Your loved ones that have passed on can send you numbers as well. Sometimes they'll send you birthday numbers, or maybe their birthday numbers. You might see, a parent or a loved one that's passed away, you might see their birth date somewhere. And when you see that, that's normally a reminder, hey, I'm right here with you. Just little number things like that. Or, there's always something that could have linked a number to them that reminds you of them. So when you see that, it just lets you know that, hey, your loved one is with you. Where do you see the numbers? They think of many creative ways to be able to send you, but the one biggest thing is they're repetitious. You'll see that same number all the time. Like I said, I see 1111 every day. And it's a signal for you to, hey, pay attention and start looking at numbers. When I do Reiki on people, a lot of times when I start to work on their third eye or their crown chakra, a lot of numbers pop up, and I'm like, hey, do you pay attention to numbers? Because if you're not paying attention to them, you should be. When you start to focus a little more on the numbers and pay attention in your daily life, your life will really start to awaken, because once you start looking at numbers and you start, realizing that those have codes, you start looking those codes up. You might see numbers on paperwork. Someone might be saying something and it contains numbers in it, a street sign, a clock. Just pay attention to numbers, even phone numbers. If there's a number that randomly dials you and you don't know what, you've never seen that number. Yeah, it could be a spam caller, but look a little bit more closely at the numbers, because that's, angels trying to send you messages. Like these random calls that I get every day that I don't even answer. It just says potential spam and it puts a number down there. Maybe I need to look all those up and see what that means. They are delivered in so many different ways. So just make sure that you're a little bit open and you pay attention to them. Synchronicity is when you're seeing that number over and over and over. You're seeing it more than once. An example with me is sometimes I'll hear noise in my room, and I will immediately get up and look over at the clock. And most of the time I'm able to retain what that number was from the clock. But sometimes I do have to write it down, and then I'll go back and interpret it. What does that mean? Angels operate at a very high vibrational frequency. So do numbers. So over time, they would just call it numbers, but over time now it's evolved to what they call now numerology, which is the study of numbers. And each number that you're looking at has a meaning. There's things called cardinal numbers, and cardinal numbers, those range from the number 0 to 9. They're single digit numbers which are easily noticed. So let's look at the number 9 for a minute. 9 is the ending of something. It's a movement to a new chapter. So if you see that, that means that there's something coming to an end when you're seeing the number 9. And when somebody has passed, it just means that your angels are near. So if somebody has passed and you see the number 9, then you got angels near you. That's what the number 9 means. And an example of something ended could be a job, a stressful job, and it might be coming to an end. So you might see 9s all over the place. And we also have, of course, triple numbers. Triple numbers. There are nothing like 3s and 4s repeated. I get a lot of people that will call me and they'll message me and tell me they're seeing 333 and 444. 111. Those they have meanings to that. When you're constantly seeing the 111, sometimes it means that you just need to stop and pay attention. And sometimes I do that too. If I see my triple ones or 4 ones, it's almost like angels sending you exclamation points like, hey, pay attention. So, when it comes to numbers and things like that, you're your own creator of what you want to align your thoughts with. And numbers can help you reboot that. So, and it can also help you with your attitude. Numbers are, like I said, direct messages. When you see numbers like 1111, your angels are sending you messages and urgency. So like I said, pay attention. And sequence numbers, those also have messages from your angels. 711, for an example, is a call to persistence. The 7 is a reminder not to allow fear to hold you back. And the 11 is the master number. That means you're going through an awakening. So make sure you keep your faith. So like I said, as you strengthen your bond with your angels, you'll be able to strengthen your bond when it comes to numbers. Your angels are wanting to talk to you. So just, it's either your angels or your loved ones that want to talk to you. And breaking it down, when you're having to break numbers down, it's not very easy to do. So, because you're constantly having to look up things, you're constantly having to look up what the different numbers mean. And I have to write down a lot of my stuff because I can't possibly remember every single number. I focus more on, my triple ones or my quadruple ones because those are the ones that I see the most. So a quick breakdown of your numbers as far as the first digits when you're getting them like in combinations. The first digit of the number will always point to the situation that led you to that moment. So 7, for instance. And then you get 11. That's your sequence numbers. The center number or the central digit gives you more of a core message of what it is. And then the last digit is the future to come, which we can't see the future, but just pay attention to the first 3 numbers. Am I confusing you? Numbers is a complicated thing. It is not easy. And I think that's why when I talk to people about them, they get a little bit, they get confused. Yeah, because it's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
But, numbers, people struggle with it. And it's just something that you have to pay attention to along with all the other metaphysical stuff.
Yeah. And like I said before, it's that I'm trying to be open-minded about it. Because if there's one thing I've learned about these last 3 years, almost 4 years working with you, be open-minded. Because you don't talk out of your ass. You believe everything you say, and 99% of the time, the stuff you say is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed tonight I'm scattering all over the place with my numbers and my planets. So I hope that when people go back and do a playback of this, or and numbers may not be their thing, because I noticed that we don't have a lot of viewers this evening. I think I got one. But sometimes it's not a person's cup of tea, and that's okay too. There's somebody out there that's going to watch the episode that's going to want to know a little bit about numbers. It is a little scattery because it's a little complicated.
Yeah. And I did notice one thing about the viewer. That's not an accurate number there.
Okay.
Because when Tina came on and she was saying hi, that was at 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's hard to say who we have on and who we don't, because we're streaming out of 3 different places.
Yeah.
So, but, just make sure when you're looking at numbers that you pay attention to what's in the now with your life right now, because you could be struggling with something, or you might need to reflect on something. You might need to reflect on a current circumstance. And, a lot of times when that occurs, if there's something that you're trying to get through and you're struggling with it, you want to ask your angels, please show me, please clarify, show me a more clear picture. Can you make it a little bit more clear for me?
Well, I have done that.
Yeah. And I do too.
Yeah.
Because, you're asking your angels to give you that support.
Mm-hmm.
And they may send codes through, they may send numbers to you. And, hopefully you'll start looking at numbers. The goal for the show tonight was to get people, a little bit more aware about numbers. And, because people are always asking me, how do you get messages from your angels? How do you get messages from your spirit guides or your loved ones? And numbers are codes that they use, to get to you, because it's a vibration.
I'll tell you right now, if my angel sends me numbers, he's an evil bitch.
They're going to send you numbers. And, when you're looking at numbers too, if you see a certain number, you always want to look at the location of where you saw it, because you could have saw it on the way to a job interview, and that could have been, a number could have been something for you, which you needed for that job interview. Be confident, be strong, in your answers. So you want to make sure that you look at the location. And when you're at home, pay attention to numbers, because at work too, when you're at work, they're literally everywhere. Even when you travel, you want to pay attention to the number. Sometimes the exit, it may not be your exit number, but sometimes that particular exit number happens to it gets your attention.
Right.
It's a number that gets your attention. You want to pay attention to it, and you want to look it up and see what it means when you're traveling, or anywhere for that matter. Let's see, meaningful places. If you're visiting a cemetery, for instance, and you see a number on the plot and it really stands out to you, you might want to look that number up and see what it means. Or you're playing a game and you see, a number on a scoreboard that catches your attention. And I'm sure you know what I mean. It just catches your attention for some reason. Yeah. You want to look it up and see what does that mean?
Do you know of a website or someplace that people can, let's say they're driving, they say exit 247 and something about 247 strikes them that they can do a quick search and find out?
Well, sometimes Google has a really quick search. I'll normally type in like 247 and it'll come up angel number. And you can actually Google it. And there's books out there too, like little books. And the book that I'm working on, that I've been working on for how many years now and haven't published yet, and should be publishing in 2025, hopefully, has some of that in there. It's not a lot, but it's number combinations that I've come across myself. But there's books out there that have just specific number codes too. So that makes it really cool. But I a lot of times, if I need something really quick, I'll just Google it really fast and see what it is. And some of it I can spit off the top of my head depending on what the number is. And when you're looking at also the numbers and, you come across something that catches your eye, you also want to check your emotions at the time. How do you feel at the time that you're seeing that number? Are you happy or do you feel heaviness? Numbers can be overwhelming and even confusing, which is normal. So if you're unclear about something, just ask your angels to clarify it for you. If you're confused about a number, ask your angels to help you understand what that means. It's okay to ask, because if you're never going to get the answer if you don't, and it's okay for you to tell them that you don't understand what is coming across. So ask them what to do next. You might want to even meditate on it, or write it down. I have a book by my nightstand. I got several little books by my nightstand. I don't know. I've got some on the floor. They're journals, but I have one specific journal. If there's, thanks, Tina. I think it's interesting, the numbers. Yeah, it's just confusing. But I keep a little journal down there. And when I see a number, if something pops up, and, if I'm sleeping or something, and then all of a sudden I see a number up here, I'll write it down so that I can decipher it the next morning when I get up. So that's one of the things that you want to do. You want to journal.
Yeah. At 247, because that hit me in the head, so I looked it up. Mm-hmm. Signifies a message of encouragement to stay positive, trust your intuition, and embrace the changes happening in your life, as you are on the right path towards achieving your goals and experiencing spiritual growth.
So do you believe that fits you?
I hope it does. That's a pretty good one there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
And this has a breakdown. Breakdown of the meaning. The number 2 represents partnership, cooperation, diplomacy, and maintaining balance in your life. The 4 represents hard work, practicality, building solid foundation, and staying grounded. And then the 7 represents spiritual awareness, introspection, inner wisdom, and learning through experience.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I typed in 247, and then A is for the angel number, and then angel number pops right up into Google.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. Because I get clients all the time that will, say, hey, I saw this number, but I don't know what it means. And I look it up, and I'll send it back to them. Or like I said, if I know it off the top of my head, I'll just send it back to them. If you're awestruck about something, or you're stuck on something, ask your guides. Ask your guides to help you with it. And also, when you see an interpretation of something, it may not resonate with you right then and there. So you want to kind of believe those, like what you just read. You want to kind of believe that. Because sometimes you'll look at something, you'll look up a number and you'll be like, oh, this doesn't fit with me right now. but it might later. And I always tell people that something may not resonate with you or sit with you right now, but later is a different story, because it'll resonate with you later.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Look at what the meaning of something could be. And even old zip codes, phone numbers, street signs, like I said, a loved one's birthday, you want a relative's birthday, you want to ask what that message might be for you. Because like I said, numbers is very overwhelming. When you start to pay attention, and again, maybe when you see a number over and over and over and over, that's your angel sending you a personal tailored message. So, when you're constantly seeing it, bam, 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 they're sending you your own little message. Like I said, mine is 1111 every day. I'll look down at the clock at 11:11 and 1:11. And I don't go looking for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to my phone and say, okay, I'm going to wait for 11:11. When I cut my phone on, it's there. 11:11. And normally my girlfriend and I, Charlene, when we see those numbers, we text them to each other. She'll text me 11:11 and I'll text her 11:11. It's just something that we do. Or she sees 111, I'll send it to her and she sends it to me. It's funny, and sometimes we send them at the same time, just to keep ourselves in check and validation. So we've done that. And sometimes the angels, when they send you repetitious numbers like that, they're just trying to say, hey, I'm here, confide in me. So when you begin to decode a number or numbers in your life, it begins to take a whole different direction, because you start to see different meanings of things, like you did with your numbers earlier that you interpreted. You start to see a different meaning of something, which kind of matched you in a way. I mean, when you broke down those numbers, it kind of matched where you're at. That's what I like about numbers. It's like a validation of where you're at. It kind of helps you keep track with something if you get discouraged about something. That's what I like about them. Just like angels, you can send the same things to your angels, because when I see the 1111, I smile and acknowledge that I'm seeing that number. I can be driving, look down and see the number 1111, and I acknowledge it and I just smile at it and I'm like, thank you, I know you're here. I do that. That allows you to acknowledge that that the universe is around you and they're working in your favor. A simple pause will do too, because they know. Any questions? Probably not. Nope. Overwhelming numbers. Let's see. Choose a number that pops up for you frequently and use that number in your email address or social media or a password. Think of it as a message that you are sending to your angels. Some people have like certain numbers that they use all the time in their email address, and you can direct that number to let your angels know that you also acknowledge them, that they're around you. Meditate on your numbers. The more you work on numbers, the stronger the communication is going to be with your angels. And it is a lifelong process. It's not something that you decide that you're going to do one day and then the next day decide, no, I don't feel like doing it, or, sit on it for months at a time. Recognizing numbers is a daily process, and it takes a lot of time and patience. So if you don't have a journal, get a journal and start, recording your numbers. Start writing them down and, seeing what those meanings are, because that journal can help you look back and reflect. And the patterns to that might be small at first, but as time goes by, the numbers form a bigger picture, and it opens you up to new ideas and insights. And it can help you achieve your goals, because it'll help you stay on track. That's what your angels do. Numbers are everywhere. So just like I said, make sure you pay attention. When you're doing a journal on your angel numbers, an example of a log would be number 1, where'd you see it? Number 2, when you saw it. Number 3, your emotional state that you were in. Number 4, the definition. And then number 5 would be for you to reflect like you did earlier. You read off what it is and then just kind of sit back and reflect on that a little bit and see where you're at with that.
Yeah, Tina says she needs to do the journal.
Yeah, the journal is cool. See, I can only see one piece of the conversation with Tina. It's lagging on my end of the internet. That's what it is.
Oh, you're starting to lag too.
Yeah, I figured as much because I hear Victor on his video game. So that's probably why I started lagging, because I wasn't lagging before.
Well, guess you're just going to have to ground them on Tuesday nights.
I know, right? You can't play your video game. So I hope this has been an interesting episode on, the discussion and numbers. It's so detailed, and I don't know a lot of people that are into numerology, or I would have brought them on. I just don't. And, it's a very interesting topic to talk about.
Yeah. It's,
it
could, like I said, I'm keeping my mind open.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, I learned that with you a long time ago. Keep your mind open, David.
Yeah. And I mean, just look at it, just start to notice it a little bit. And to me, I think it's always been fun to try to figure out what it is my angels are trying to tell me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it does tell me I'm on my right path, and that's good to know, because sometimes even myself doing Reiki and the energy work that I do, sometimes I question, am I on the right path? And so then when I see that number combination and it tells me I'm on the right path, then I know that I'm where I need to be.
Got a question for you, because while you were talking, I was just looking up random numbers. And it seems like everything that I looked up was positive. Do they ever pop up and say, hey, you're screwing up, jackass?
Some of them, yeah. Some of the numbers do pop up and tell you that you need to reflect on different things, that you're not quite moving in the right direction. So, yeah, some of those numbers are that way. Maybe you need to do some rethinking or reflecting.
Okay, yeah,
you're not reading right.
Yeah, so I just looked up a few random numbers. Nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, every single one that I looked up, everything was a positive thing. And then wasn't any of them saying, hey, you're screwing up.
Yeah, I've had numbers myself that redirect and tell me that I need to reflect, that I'm off of the beaten path of what I'm supposed to be, that I am messing up a little bit.
Yeah, Tina just asked, when you're at the manor house and y'all get something paranormal, do you ever look at that time?
Yeah, we do. I do. I look back. I look down on my watch. Yeah, I look down on my watch, and I'll actually document it on the body camera.
Yeah. Now I'll look at the time so we can go back and check the footage. But as far as looking at the time for the new numerology stuff, no, I don't.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, when we have something that goes on paranormal, I'll look at the time. So yeah, I've done that.
All right. We got 6 minutes left.
Well, we can close out a little early.
Yeah, next week we got a special show coming up. It's going to be a roundtable like we do every month. But next week we'll be doing it live from the cabin on 360.
Yes, we're gonna have fun with Dennis asshole S-Lock, who's not even on here tonight. Not even on here.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
but
firing him.
yeah, but I think that's going to be super cool. All four of us going to be there.
Yeah.
Me, Jerry, myself, John Savage, and Dennis Heslock. All four of us are going to be at the same location.
Yeah,
That's
we're
gonna
gonna be up.
first.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the cabin, and that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And if y'all haven't, for people out here that are tuning in later, because I do have people that, watch the show later. The cabin, he's renting it out overnight for a steal because $500 a night is a steal. Do I have those prices right? I think I do.
500 on Friday and during the week,
Fridays.
and on Saturdays at 600.
So that's still a steal.
And he also has a special deal where if you do the whole weekend, I don't know what
Yeah.
that one is, but
Now, just go to the Cabin on 360's.
LLC.
LLC.
Cabin on 360 LLC.com.
Yep. Or you can go on their Facebook page too and see what some of his events are.
Exactly.
So you never know what's going to happen behind the red door at the cabin. You just don't know. And it's going to be exciting to do a show from there too. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. We're super excited about it.
Yeah, instead of Tales from the Crypt, it's Tales from the Cabin.
Yeah, it's going to be Tales from the Cabin.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
And
y'all have a great night.
We will see you next week live from the cabin.
Cabin on 360.
Bye.
Night.